Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Elven Chorus studio. Welcome to the show. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about Elven Chorus, and my goodness, Wizards, you need to stop. It's becoming pretty apparent that this set has a good amount of power creep, and you are just like, hey, yeah, what do Commander players like? Oh, cool, they like this card. Let's just do that and then some. Or, yeah, let's just make a strictly better version of another card. Or, let's make the best Anthem of all time. And it's a little, obvious, it seems like. Now, I'm not saying that this card is strictly better than another card I'm going to reference here in a little bit, but it is a fantastic combination of cards, and yeah, this is going to be very popular. Here we go, Elven Chorus. Thank you, MTG Goldfish, for the translated version of this. I should have said that first time, sorry. Anyways, an enchantment for 3 in a green. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells in the top of your library. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, this is, oh, goodness gracious. Okay, yeah, in creature-based decks, this is going to do a ton of work for you. This is absurd amounts of card advantage with absurd amounts of mana. This is everything, well, Simic players love and enjoy, essentially. And yeah, this is essentially a card that can, of course, fit in those decks. Well, I mean, you do need a decent amount of creatures in your deck to actually make the most of this. Still, even if you're just throwing this into a token generating deck, you're still gonna have some creatures in there. Being able to see the top of your library is just a valuable asset because you're like, okay, yeah, what am I gonna be drawing into? What can I draw into this turn if I need to? And just getting an absurd amount of mana advantage from your creatures is incredible. Saying, hey, all these token creatures I have in play, oh yeah, 20 of them, which is very easy to do. Yeah, that's 20 mana right there. Yeah, again, they're just basically Llanowar Elves. I mean, they're not Llanowar Elves because they can tap for 1 mana of any color. Perfect mana fixing without a restriction on what you can spend that on too. This is, Birds of Paradise, essentially. All your creatures are Birds of Paradise. On top of this, just stapled on, yeah, sure. The top of your library is also a second hand, essentially. Again, if you're in a creature-heavy deck, this is not a must include. I don't like utilizing that term, but this is a very, very good card to consider if you've got the budget for it, because again, this does exactly what you want it to do. Card advantage, mana ramp. Those are two things that are massive in Commander. This is like, yeah, let's just throw things together. The cards that are just really, really good in Commander that, you know, are tailored for Commander players are becoming very, very obvious. This is definitely one of them. This is a slam dunk in a lot of decks out there. And again, it just kind of basically combines two cards that I'll talk about here in just a little bit. Very obviously, and like, yeah, sure, this will sell. This other card, you know, plays in a lot of decks. So this is going to, you know, obviously play in a lot of decks too. So, oh, goodness, Wizards. It just seems like with this set, more and more often, you have been now just kind of pushing the envelope a little bit because you're like, yeah, let's just take this other card or other type of card that is already popular, and let's make a different version of it, or a more powerful version of it, or a better version of it. Yeah, if you haven't seen my episode on something about the tree, something flowering of the white tree, something like that, make sure you check that out because, my goodness, gross Anthem. But yeah, there are some absurd things happening in this set. The new Gutter Snipe, essentially, that's just better. All these things. Wizards, what in the world is going on other than you probably want to appease the shareholders by selling more cards. Beside the point, though, let's jump into the cards I want to talk about in this episode, which are just going to be, because this is not obviously a Commander, I'm not going to be doing a quick take like, you know, budget buys, price your picks. I'm going to talk about what this card probably came from, essentially, what is reminiscent of Commanders that might want to utilize it, and exciting things that you can do with it too. So let's start things off with the reminiscent cards, the cards that definitely inspired this one, and what comes to mind, of course, is Cryptolith Rite. My goodness, this card is a powerhouse. This card needs a reprint desperately. It's $15, enchantment for 1 in a green. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to mana pool. So again, the last part of that last card, the last piece of text, and again, probably the most important piece of that text for decks that want to utilize a card like this, still stapling on, you know, card advantage on top of this, yeah, it's worth 2 extra mana. Now, I'm not saying that the new card is strictly better than this one. In fact, decks that want to use Cryptolith Rite will definitely probably use the other one too. They're going to be like, yeah, sure, why not have another version of that can also generate card advantage for you. That being said, this card sees play in 5% of decks, And again, it's a $15 card. The other one can definitely see play, and at least that amount as well. An absurd card that, again, can just give you an absurd amount of card advantage. I mean, sorry, not card advantage, mana. This one, the new one can also give card advantage. This one is just mana advantage, but still, again, token decks. Again, decks that are heavy on creatures. Absolutely absurd. And this is kind of like a combined card, again, with another one. There's a couple of ones that do it, but the first one that came to my mind is Vizier of the Menagerie. This one essentially is just like, hey, Crypto Flight, right, stapled onto Vizier of the Menagerie, again, as an enchantment. 3/4 Naga Cleric for 3 and a green, same mana cost. You may look at the top card of your library. You may cast the top card of your library to a creature card. You may spend mana as over mana of any type to cast creature spells. Now, it doesn't have that last part, but again, basically, you know, with your mana fixing that you're getting your perfect mana fixing with your creatures, that probably doesn't matter. That last part probably doesn't matter for you at all. And, of course, like I like to say with these kind of things, yes, sometimes it is better for something to be a creature. Again, with this kind of a deck, you're going to have creature-heavy deck, right? So you're going to have a good amount of creatures in the deck and getting cards off the top. It's better in that aspect. But with Elven Chorus being an enchantment, it is harder to deal with. It is strictly harder to deal with. This Vizier of the Menagerie, if you cast Wrath of God, that'll solve it. The vast majority of Wraths out there are going to be taking out creatures. So, yeah, this is just going to go bye-bye. However, Elven Chorus, you have to either, you know, dedicate target removal that specifically can take out enchantments to it. And there are very few, I mean, I gotta say very few, but there are less board wipes out there that are heavily used that take out all enchantments. So, yeah, it's gonna be more protected, essentially. When it comes to the type of permanents that are toughest to take out in Magic, I mean, when I like to rank them essentially myself, I do say technically, usually, that enchantments are the hardest to take out because, well, I mean, Planeswalkers, you can attack them. Battles, now you can attack them. Artifacts have more things, in my opinion, that take them out. Enchantments, less. So, therefore, I mean, I guess lands. Okay, lands, sure. But when it comes to these kinds of effects, enchantments usually are harder to take out than creatures. So, yeah, I mean, this combination of Cryptothrite and Vizier of the Menagerie is pretty potent. Now, that being said, there are other cards, I mean, looking back into Magic's past, that have had similar effects to this one. I mean, way back when, I don't even know what the actual original printing of this card was from, a long, long time ago. Sentinel Hierophants, a 3/2 human druid for a 3 and a green. So again, same cost. Creature control of tap, add green. So again, making all your creatures literally into Llanowar elves is, yes, worse than Cryptothrite. Much worse than Cryptothrite. Again, this is on a creature much easier to take out. And again, worse than our new card. Strictly just worse than it. So yeah, having card advantage plus the ability to tap for any mana. Yeah, we've come a long way over the years. And again, Cryptothrite didn't come out all that long ago. I mean, a decent amount. But still, like, you know, power creep is just... In my opinion, it's definitely coming in this set. And then Garrick's Horde. Okay, this is another card. I think this came out in 2012, I think? 7/7 Beast with Trample. Play the top card of your library revealed. You may put the cast top card of your library as a creature card. Again, that first kind of half of the actual new card, essentially. Hey, you get card advantage from creatures off the top. Again, sure, this is a 7/7 Trample. It does cost 7 mana, and again, it's on a creature. This thing does great in creature-based decks. But again, hey, not nearly as good as this brand new card that's just like, yeah, you get that, plus your creatures are mana dorks. Great. So it's getting kind of absurd. We have seen other ones more recently too, like Augur of Autumn, a 2/3 human druid for 3 mana, just 1 green. Look at the top card of your library anytime. Play lands on the top of your library, so that's very nice. Again, that doesn't actually give, you know, that card advantage from creatures, but actually it kind of does, because Coven, as long as you call 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may cast creatures on the top of your library. So this gives you access to both, which is really crazy. Again, you need that requirement to be met, but still, things have been getting better and better over the years, obviously, with power going up, 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 and up. And yeah, we're getting, you know, something that's just like, yeah, let's combine not only absurd amounts of card advantage potentially in the right deck, but now also with everything's a mana dork. You've got an absurd amount of mana. Have fun. Oh, goodness. Okay, and one more I want to bring up in this. This is, I mean, technically a commander that I guess could consider this card. It really could, actually. Inganesca. Creatures you control have vigilance and tap at one of any color. So this may only cast a creature spell. Whenever you cast a creature spell, 3 or more mana from creature spell to cast it, draw a card. So, yeah, I mean, you could throw that in this deck if you wanted to. That's not the purpose of me bringing this up, though. This one is another example of a similar effect, but this one does have restrictions on it. Again, this brand new card, no restrictions. Your creatures can tap for one made of any color, and you can use that on anything. This one, only on creature spells. Only on creature spells. On top of that, this does give you card advantage as well, but only if 3 or more mana is spent from creatures. There's your card advantage. This new one's like, nope, top of the library. If they're creatures, cool, cast them. That's what you get, basically a second hand from that. So again, we have been seeing these kinds of effects more and more often. Again, with this one in Ganesca, there were restrictions on it. This new one, absolutely no restrictions, no holds barred, just go for it. Oh goodness. Okay, one more thing I do want to bring up though is, well, yet another way to pretty easily infinitely combo with Aggravated Assault. Yeah, I mean, this card is pretty absurd. $35 or $34, whatever it is. Enchantment for 3 mana. A 3 red, untap all creature you control after its main phase, or combat phase, switch to main phase, activate only time you cast a sorcery. All you need essentially are, 6 creatures in play? I was about to say 3, I don't know why. 6 creatures in play, plus this new card, or again, Crypto's right, it works the exact same way essentially. There you go. Infinite mana of any color. Have fun with that. Infinite combats as well. And again, if you can keep casting creature after creature after creature off the top of your library, you probably have plenty of ways to win from there. So yeah, yet another way. Who knew Aggravated Assault, a pretty broken card? Yeah, have fun with that. Now, moving on, let's talk about some commanders that might want to consider this card. And again, there are a lot of them. Essentially, hey, do you have a lot of creatures in your deck? Do you have a lot of ways to make creatures? Do you like generating a lot of mana? Cool. Yeah, Urtet Remnant of Memnarch is going to love this card. Hey, 2/2, let your artifact creature mirror for 3 mana. Whenever you cast a mirror spell, you get a 1/1 mirror. At the beginning of combat on your turn, untap each mirror you control. By paying Wooburg and tapping it, you get 3 counters each mirror you control activate only during your turn. Turning your creatures into mana dorks is massive for this kind of a commander. This says, hey, you know what? Let's cast a mirror. When we do, we make another mirror. And now with this Elven Chorus in play, they're all, again, Birds of Paradise, essentially. They can all tap for 1 mana of any color. So yeah, we can make that activation work very easily on Urtet to make those mirror much bigger. On top of that, beginning of combat, let's untap them. So basically, your mana dorks do double the work. You can make your massive amounts of mana, and of course just cast creature after creature after creature off the top of your library. Every single time you do so, you make even more mana dorks. Yeah, this seems like a slam dunk for a Urtet deck. Next up, Xyrus the Writhing Storm. Hey, yeah, Teamer is a good combination of colors for this brand new card. Oh goodness, 3/5 Flying Snake Leviathan for 5 mana. Whenever an opponent draws a card, except the first they draw on each of their draw steps, create a 1/1 green snake creature token. And whenever Xyrus deals counter to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. This can make an absurd amount of stakes very, 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 very quickly, filling your board in absolutely no time. Again, giving you access to absurd amounts of mana. This kind of a commander likes to wheel again and again and again. So this kind of Crypto's right type effect is massive for this. And of course, yeah, there are certain creatures that are going to be in this deck that can help draw, that can help with wheels. But even if it's not that creature heavy, again, just getting that Crypto's right side of the card with some miscellaneous card advantage throughout the game with that first part, yeah, that can be absolutely massive for a commander like this. So again, even if you're just a commander that's literally focused on making tokens, it can still definitely be a great consideration because there's bound to be some creatures in the deck you can still get off the top. Finally, Yohami Kalaria, a newer commander, a 1/3 elf archer for 3 mana. Reach. Untap all archers you control during each of the player's untapped step. Whenever archer you control deals damage to a creature, they pay 2 if you do draw a card. This is every other player's untapped step. You're untapping your archers. Basically seedboard mute archers. So hey, have a bunch of archers in the deck. Yeah, now they're all mana dorks. Oh, you can tap them on every single turn. My goodness, yeah. Oh, and also cast your archers off the top. Archer after archer after archer, getting them all into play, and then, yeah, cast whatever instance or activate abilities you want, essentially, on your opponent's turns, because you're going to have absurd amounts of mana to do so. So even kind of off the wall, different kinds of commander like this one, that doesn't necessarily, obviously, you know, make creature tokens or benefit you from casting creatures. This one just says, hey, go specific into this tribe, and I will untap them for you. I will benefit you for that. You can do absurd amounts of things with this, and yeah, sure, you can draw cards with it as well when your archers get through. There's a lot of commanders out there that can definitely consider this brand new card. Again, Wizards knew exactly what they were doing when they designed a card like this. They're like, what do players like? They like mana and card draw. Cool, let's do both on an enchantment that has already proven itself to be, you know, very popular with Crypto's right. So yeah, it does seem like, again, I'm not saying this is better than Crypto's right. It does cost 2 more mana, and yes, that does make a difference. That being said, the amount of card advantage this can give you in the right deck is incredible. And again, we've already seen other kinds of cards out there that give this exact kind of card advantage for basically the exact same amount of mana. So now we've got one that says that, plus it's an enchantment, so it's hard to deal with. And also, I give you that Crypto's right type effect. So you all, you know, all your creatures are mana dorks. All of them are Birds of Paradise. Wizards, slow things down just a little bit, okay? Again, we've seen in this set already just an Anthem that is just strictly better than the vast majority, if not all, Anthems out there, for its cost. We've seen a brand new Gutter Sign. We've seen all these other cards. We've got like a new Harrow that is better in a lot of circumstances out there too. It is getting just kind of just, a little, I don't know how to describe it, obvious, though, what you're doing and just targeting Commander players with your products and being like, yeah, Commander players will buy this because of this card. Cool. Yeah, okay. Not that players can enjoy this. They can definitely enjoy this card. It's just kind of the thing where Wizards is like, we need to shake things up. We need a new chase card for this format. We need some more chase cards so that people buy this set. So, yeah, it just is what it is. But, yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on all this. What is your opinion on Elven Chorus? How good is this card? Am I overestimating its power? Am I overestimating the amount of decks that this is going to see play in? Again, yes, Cryptos Right does cost less, but this adds a lot to it. So yeah, we shall see. Overall, yeah, it's some pretty interesting things happening, obviously. Make sure you're staying tuned to this channel for more quick takes and spoilers coming up. And with that, today's episode is coming to a close, so let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support.